You're listening to the REITE Club podcast, where the focus is all about helping you grow your real estate investment portfolio and live the life you want to live. Come grow with us and join our community at thereiteclub.com. And now your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.
What's driving you these days, to kind of to balance that, keep on hustling, keep on going, do the max that you can, max out, but then also to build for that future, that time that you guys want for each other, and then balancing with it, like, what do we do right
now? Well, I'll answer that one. Well, it all boils down with your why, right? That why is very big. But so my why changed a couple times in my lifetime. But for right now, both of our families live in the U.S. Both of our family live out of country. One lives in Canada, lives in U.S. And it's very expensive to keep this lifestyle going, right? Because we have such a big dream of investing in the States and investing in Canada, being international. So yeah, that's what drives us. What's driving us right now.
Very cool. So you guys have been investing, for a few years now. Gabby is one of the empresses, and she's, looking for some land with me. Kevin, you are doing awesome. You guys are doing awesome together. How are you making it work as a couple?
Dude, praise God.
No one's jumping to cut each other off to answer that one.
You know what? We actually, this was one of the things that we were saying before, because two of us can't. We're two strong-headed individuals, and we're two in a self. I'm an alpha female. He's the alpha male. So being a couple is one thing, and then also working together is another thing. So we had to really figure out who's gonna do what. Like,
yeah, a lot of boundaries.
Yeah, a lot of boundaries. We had to create a lot of boundaries. So for us, Kevin allows me to do a lot of the finances, a lot of the number stuff, a lot of the admin stuff, and that's my lane. So sometimes when he'll come and try to step into my lane, it kind of overlaps and it just frustrates me. So it is a big challenge working as a couple, working together. I think once we figured out how to work together, it made it easier, because the more that it didn't work, it just kept putting us back. So we had to figure out how to make it work so that we could keep moving forward.
That's awesome. Kevin, anything you want to add to that?
Well, I do have to stay in my lane at particular times, because sometimes I really want to get involved with Gabrielle and what she's doing, but I have my role that I have to play, and I play my position well.
That's really cool that you guys are dividing based on what each of you bring to the table, because and you're each bringing something, in my opinion, just as important as one another, and you're making it work, right? Because sometimes, for example, like me and Matt, when we first started, I was into real estate much more, and probably still am, but you guys are a great example as well of making it work as a couple, splitting tasks, figuring out, what you're good at, what you enjoy, what Gabby's good at or Kevin's good at, and what you guys are enjoying. And you guys are like a power team, a power couple, and you built your portfolio. So what's an example of the last property that you bought together?
So we had Kevin's very ego driven sometimes. And we had made some moves that liquidated a little bit of money in our account. So Kevin just on a Saturday decided that he just wanted to walk into a builder's office and pick up 2 townhouses. But the townhouses, I wasn't in agreement with it at first, but after, they actually about the same size, just a little bit smaller than a semi. So they weren't your standard townhouses. So that was the last thing that we kind of picked up. We ended up doing 3 in less than 4 or 5 months of each other. So that was a big.
That's awesome. Where are those townhouses? And so that was kind of like just on a random Saturday afternoon, Kev. You're kind of bored. You're like, I'm just gonna go pick up some properties.
Well, the thing is, I work for the builders, right? So I'm always on the site, so I see when the very first phase is coming out. So I could act fast. So I was on site, and I know I work for the builder, So I seen those houses coming up, and we bought them. We jumped on it, taking action, just like jumping out of that plane when we skydive, right? And yeah, they were good. Right now
They were
they're
also in the
getting
Milton
well.
market.
That's
Yeah.
right. And Milton, I know you guys live there and invest quite a bit as well too. And Kevin referenced the jumping out of the plane. So the four of us, along with Mike Richter, who you guys know obviously well, and obviously his wife is another one of the empresses, along with Gabby and Sarah as well. And then and Danielle Chason joined us, and it's about taking that action. And I think when you first started investing, like you said almost 10 years now or 8 years ago. I don't think you would have had that confidence to go walk in on a Saturday afternoon and say, hey, I'll pick these two up, right? So what's some of the things that have gained that confidence, or some of the experiences that you've had over the years that you get to a point where you're confident enough to say, hey, these are going to work. It's real estate. It's a strong market. What are some of the things that gain that confidence for you?
Okay. Well, I guess we are action takers, and we'll gain the confidence, and we have so much experience, right? For all these years that we've been doing it, closing mortgages, looking at houses, seeing what are the best deals out there. So yeah, those are the and we have repeated results, right? We have a lot of repeated results, and that goes a long way for financial freedom, right? So yeah, we are looking to be financially free, and we're going to do anything to accomplish that.
And I think also to add on to that, what makes it a little bit easier for us, when we were younger, keep in mind, both of our parents are immigrants. So a lot of our upbringing was taught the scarcity mentality. So everything you have to second guess, triple check, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was kind of how we were raised. And when we started investing, the more that we started picking up, it made it a little bit easier. Look at it, look at the numbers, figure it out. Does it work for you? Okay. Do you want to try something different? Okay. And if it doesn't work, what you learn from it? So that's not another lesson. So there's never any situation or something that you do that's just a total fail. It's an asset. Even if you walk away with 20K out of it, you walk away with something. Do you know what I mean? So it made it a little bit easier for us to shoot a lot more, knowing that we had an exit.
That's awesome. I mean, and you guys are action takers, and so you're talking about how your parents are immigrants. Like, what did your friends or your family say when you said, you know what, I'm going to be buying, I don't know how many you guys have now, but like, a house a year or whatever for 10 years, and you've got a good sized portfolio right now. But what did they say in the beginning?
Well,
I laughed because every time we went to Kevin's parents and said we picked up another house, his mom would sit in the kitchen living room and be like, Kevin, why? Every single time. So that was Kevin's mom's response. And for my parents, they just sat back and just shook their head. And now they're actually on board. So they're like, okay, so what are you doing next? You're coming over here to do mortgages? Okay, so how can we get involved? So my parents are a little bit more accepting of it a lot now.
Yeah.
Isn't that a cool progression, right? And I'm picturing like the Home Alone, like, Kevin, right? But and that progression is, like you said, as you build those calluses, you get those experiences, and both of you again are business owners before you guys became real estate investors as well too. Right?
Yes.
So when you're interacting with people, like people forget, okay, it is real estate. Yes, you're buying a building, you're buying whatever, it's a house, it's a duplex, it's a triplex, it's a commercial building, it's an office building. But people don't realize, or sometimes I think they forget, is that it really is a people business, right? And that you guys are some of the most friendly people that you like, just honest people, like just humble, and like you're really, really amazing. And that's the good part, is that people want to work with people that they like. And it's easy for you guys, to people to like you. You guys are just awesome.
Yeah.
So
thank you, man.
And you guys are present. You guys are at the REITE Club events. You guys are networking, meeting people. So, what are maybe some of the things that, you want some of the REITE Club Nation or some of the listeners out there that maybe people don't know about you guys?
Don't know about us. Well, right now we're heavily looking in the States right now, trying to buy some property. That's why Gabrielle's down there. That was a long time dream of us, to accomplish. So we're just taking action right now. We might have some deals coming up in the States, and we're just focusing our energy on just growing, scaling our business.
Thanks for listening to the REITE Club podcast and joining our community of real estate investors online at thereiteclub.com, where the focus is about helping you grow. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks from your hosts, Sarah Larby and Alfonso Salemi.